Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am David Vitale, President of the Chicago Board of Education, and on behalf of my fellow board members, I welcome you to today's Chicago Board of Education meeting. Today is November 20th, 2013, and we are holding this month's meeting here at the board chambers at 125 South Clark. I would like to note that board members Hines and Zopp are not here today due to prior commitments. We will be following our regular schedule today of honoring excellence, a report from the CEO, and then public participation, and then we will vote on all matters after closed session. Madam Secretary, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Thank you, Mr. President. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The regular meeting of Wednesday, November 20th is hereby called to order. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. President. Dr. Beenan.
Here.
Vice President Reese.
Here.
Board Member Quazzo.
Here.
Dr. Escoitia.
Present.
President Vitale.
Here.
5 members present. There is a quorum. I would also like to recognize Dr. Barbara Byrd Bennett, our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. James Bebley, our General Counsel, Ashley Gordon, and our Honorary Student Board Member, and our Shadow Student this month, Abilene Ortega. Thank you.
Thank you, Estella. I'd like to call everyone's attention to our first Shadow Student of the year, student of this school year. Just to remind you, as we did last year, in addition to our honorary student board member, we plan to have a different student attend each board meeting alongside of our honorary student board member, Ashley Gordon. Ashley, welcome back. Good to have you back again this month. And I would ask you to please introduce our shadow student.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. It is good to be back again. Last month was very exciting, and it is an honor to represent CPS students, and so far it has been a unique and informative experience. This month we have Abilene Ortega, who is a senior at Schurz High School, joining me as a shadow student. Abilene is the secretary of the National Honor Society, Italian Club, College Ambassadors Club, Inspira College Access Program, Build On, Environmental Club, and Step Up Women's Network. After graduating from Schurz, Abilene plans to pursue a pharmaceutical science degree at the University of Southern California. Abilene, on behalf of all of the board members, welcome. Would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Ashley. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be here today as a shadow student. It's a really great experience. I would like to take this moment and thank my principal, Mr. Kramer, my college counselor, Ms. Taylor, and my family for helping me with through high school and my post-secondary journey. Thank you.
So Abby and I had a chance to chat before she came here today, and she's a great success story. She's going to be the first in her family to go to college, and right. And we're really excited for her and glad to have her today. So welcome again from all of us, Abby. Good to have you here. We will now start our program of honoring excellence. And today we have 2 special musical performances from students from the South Shore Fine Arts Academy. South Shore Fine Arts Academy has a special mission, not only to prepare every student for success in college and career, but they seek to engage their students through curriculum that is infused with the fine and performing arts. Students take enrichment courses like classical ballet, instrumentation, choral training, and much more. And today we are lucky to have the 3rd and 4th grade choir, as well as a violin quartet to perform with us. So welcome, everybody. We look forward to hearing your performance.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Melissa Mister, and I'm the principal of South Shore Fine Arts Academy School. And I just want to say good morning to all of the board members and to CEO Byrd Bennett. I'm so pleased to have two of our performing student groups here with us today. We have members of our 3rd and 4th grade school-based Chicago Children's Choir here today. And we also have 2nd through 6th grade violin students who learn violin through the Merit Violin program here today with their instructor, Mr. Weber. Our choir director is Mr. Cottrell. So thank you so much for having us here today. The students are very, very excited to perform for you.
I'm from South Shore Fine Arts Academy. I've been invited to Chicago Children's Choir. Our director is Mr. Cottrell, and we're going to be singing Somebody Sing for Me. And also, I hope you enjoy.
Somebody sang for me, had me on their mind, took the time and sang for me. I'm so glad they sang, I'm so glad they sang, I'm so glad they sang for me. Somebody marched for me, had me on their mind, took the time and marched for me. I'm so glad they marched, I'm so glad they marched, I'm so glad they marched for me. Somebody sang for me, had me on their mind, took the time and sang for me. I'm so glad they sang, I'm so glad they sang, I'm so glad they sang for me. Somebody marched for me, had me on their mind, took the time and marched for me. I'm so glad they marched, I'm so glad they marched, I'm so glad they marched for me.
And I am a merit violin student at South Shore Fine Arts Academy School. Well, our instructor today is Mr. Weber, and today we'll be playing French folk song and Allegro for you. Hope you enjoy.
Principal Mister, where are you? Where did you go? There you are. You know, I was thinking, you know, as we approach Thanksgiving, what a great opportunity for us to give thanks to you and your team at South Shore for the great work and the leadership you're providing, and to thank your children here today for starting our meeting off in such a wonderful way. We really appreciate the time and the effort you put into it, and we really enjoy having your students entertain us this morning. It really is a terrific way for us to start, and so a chance to say thank you. We really do appreciate it.
And thank you so much for having us today. That was a pleasure for them to be able to perform. The after-school program is possible in large part because of some of the funding decisions that the board made recently, so we can't say enough how grateful we are to be able to have these opportunities for our students. Yeah.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Okay, we will now proceed with the business portion of the meeting, and we'll start with Barbara and her CEO's report. Barbara, anything?
Thank you very much, President Vitale. I'd like to call Dr. Markay Winston, our Chief Officer for Diverse Learner Supports and Services, to provide brief remarks regarding the National Inclusive Schools Week. Dr. Winston?
Good morning, President Vitale, Dr. Barbara Byrd Bennett, and the rest of the board members and friends. I'm happy to stand before you today to talk about the fact that, as we all know, Chicago Public Schools is highly committed to ensuring that we have equitable access to high-quality education for all of our students. Throughout the district, we are taking a very coordinated and collaborative approach to providing high-quality and specially designed instructional supports and services for our diverse learners. To help accelerate academic achievement for our diverse learners, we are strengthening our systems of support for our parents, we're adopting regionalized networks of services for students and teachers, and we're developing a shared vision of quality instruction. This year, during the week of December 2nd, CPS will participate along with schools across the nation in the National Inclusive Schools Week. Participation in the National Inclusive Schools Week provides a unique opportunity for principals, teachers, paraprofessionals, parents, and students to share the instructional strategies and techniques that have been proven to meet the academic needs of the diversity of our diverse learner population. Beginning in January, we will also be conducting disability awareness training for all of our employees district-wide. This training builds on the very successful disability awareness training that we conducted for staff as well as for all of the students in our welcoming schools earlier in the school year. We are kicking off this training with all central office departments actually this month, and then we're going to move into the schools over the next 12 to 18 months to make sure that all of our school staff and employees throughout the district are disability aware. We will also share this training video with the board in the weeks ahead, and so we look forward to that as well. I'm very pleased to be joined by one of our strongest partners in this work. I'd like to invite Commissioner Karen Tamley from the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities to say a few words about our collaboration and our ongoing partnership. Commissioner Tamley?
Good morning. Let's get this. There we go. Thank you. Good morning, members of the board. Markay, thank you so much for having me today. Again, I'm Karen Tamley. I'm the Commissioner with the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, and we've been working very closely with Markay and her team and members of the Cabinet on the rollout strategy of the disability awareness trainings. This is one of several initiatives, actually, that our two departments are working on together to support readiness and outcomes of our diverse learners across the district. In fact, in just the months of October and November, I would say together we have reached literally thousands of diverse learners and their families through a number of events, including 3 parent forums in areas across the city, a transition summit last weekend, Disability Mentoring Day, as well as a student resource fair. As we see the number of diverse learners growing, this initiative is really important because it focuses attention not just on disability awareness, but increasing understanding around disability issues and people living with disabilities. It promotes inclusion and reduces social isolation and supports our larger work to advance expectations and academic achievement of diverse learners across the district. Our vision is this is just not a one-way conversation, one-time conversation, but really a two-way, continuous, action-oriented conversation between the district and the schools, the principals and the teachers and the students, and then between the students themselves. It's really been a pleasure to work with Dr. Winston and her team and actually members of the cabinet, and there's been such incredible energy and excitement about the rollout of these trainings. But I also want to express real appreciation for the support of Dr. Bird Bennett, for her commitment for this initiative, and really for shining a light on the needs and issues of our diverse learners across the district. Again, I'm very excited to partner with Marquet and her team and the district on the rollout of this initiative. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Commissioner Tamley. And just in closing, just please join us as we celebrate National Inclusive Schools Week, the week of December 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't go away. Karen, thank you for coming this morning, and welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here this morning. And it's even more exciting to see the cooperation between your office and Marquet. It's not something we've always had in the past, and I think it really is something that will improve the productivity of the work. And so we really do appreciate your coming and for your cooperation with Marquet. It's terrific. But I want to give the chance for our board members to ask questions about this, if they have any, before you go.
I just have
Carlos.
one question for Marquet.
Yes.
Marquet, sometimes we've seen in some schools an overrepresentation, sometimes 30% and more. And now that we're talking about being inclusive, we're dispersing those populations, because sometimes I was concerned with so many students in one building who needed special education services. I
Yes,
know
that's
you're
a-
addressing that.
That's a very appropriate question, and that's a question that we actually are looking at as we speak. We're looking at the data to get a better understanding of where our children are, what are the kinds of supports and services that are required, and how can we make sure that they have better opportunities that are closer to where they live, but that also are directly in alignment with the supports that are identified within their individualized education plan or their Section 504 plan. And so we're looking to reach some equity. And there are a lot of different strategies that are underway right now to kind of help us address that issue. But we do recognize that there are some schools that have a higher proportion than other schools, and we just want to even that out, and we want to strengthen the supports as we move forward.
Thank you.
Jesse.
Moved over so I could see Karen. But just wanted to ask, since there's this new, what seems to, or what I understand to be a newer found collaboration, what are we getting out of or more importantly, what are our students getting out of this new collaboration with the Commissioner's Office and CPS?
Did you want to answer?
Go ahead, Mike,
I think
follow.
that some of what our students are getting are better access to supports and services. I think we're getting a heightened understanding and awareness of what their needs are. We're focusing on strengthening the capacity of our principals to understand what instructional leadership needs to look like to support our diverse learners. We're also working very closely in training our teachers about the kinds of instructional strategies that are necessary to accelerate the achievement of this population. I think one of the greatest advantages is really to the supports that our collaboration have in place for our parents and our students. The outreach that we've been able to do together has reached, as Commissioner indicated, thousands of our families, and we think that degree of involvement, we think information sharing, all of that collectively is going to lead to better outcomes for our children.
And how are we going to measure that to make sure that we're hitting the mark and meeting our goals?
We're looking at various indicators of such, and so we're in the process of identifying what some of those indicators are. Some of those indicators might involve access to adult services for our students who are exiting high school. Some of those indicators might certainly look at attendance, might look at graduation, some of the typical indicators that we would be responsible for. But we're also looking at, for our older children, how well are they able to self-advocate so that they understand what their needs are, and so that as they're moving forward, they have access to what they require to be successful, and for our younger children, making sure that they also have a better understanding of the kinds of supports that they need. So we're trying to identify what some of those specific indicators are, and I look forward to being able to come back and share more specific details on what they exactly will
Next
be.
year or sooner?
Oh, much sooner than next year.
Excellent, thank you. Karen?
Sure. I mean, I can say through a lot of the events we're holding, we're providing really much needed information for students and families about resources to benefits, independent living after they leave high school, and other resources. I'll just give you one example. Our Disability Mentoring Day that we held a few weeks ago, we had probably 400 high school students, diverse learners at that event. And we had various companies that came in to lead workshops for students on resume writing, interviewing skills, careers in healthcare, careers in retail. From there, we placed them in job shadowing, and then we worked to get them paid summer internships over the summer through the city-county program and other internship opportunities. So we're really trying to link a lot of the work that we're doing from employment readiness to actually paid employment to help build their resumes.
Thank you.
Other questions? Well, I'll give you one piece of feedback, Marquet. I'm not an expert in this area, but I visit a lot of schools, and I usually ask about what we're doing with diverse learners, and for what it's worth, I don't know whether it's you or Barbara or whoever, I feel a lot more energy and innovation around our work in schools with diverse learners. I'm seeing it as I visit schools every week, that there's much more attention being paid to it. So that's a piece of positive feedback. Jesse's right. Ultimately, you'll give us some measures, but sometimes observation is maybe the best measure you can have. So congratulations. I think you're all off to a good start, and we look forward to a bright future in this
Thank
world.
you for that feedback.
Thank you.
But look for more things to come.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Is that it for you, Barbara?
No, actually, I just wanted to also thank the Commissioner for your partnership, your collaboration, your insight, and your guidance in really putting the light on helping us to ensure that all does mean all. And to Marquet, much too modest there. Marquet is the guiding light with this, David, as you well know. For every child in every neighborhood in Chicago to reach their potential, we believe that they need adults in their communities to get involved in meaningful and constructive ways. The success of our students can't be left just to our principals and our teachers and our school staff. Serving on the local school council is an impactful, productive way to serve the community and to create meaningful and productive futures for Chicago's next generation of children. Empowered and involved local school councils are essential for creating and maintaining our great schools. LSCs are responsible for approving the school expenditure plans, for selecting principals, and approving the school improvement plan. This week, we opened the nomination period for LSC elections. Candidate nominations will be available through February 26, and I encourage any citizen of Chicago who wants to make a positive impact on our next generation of children to consider running for their local school council. Elections are currently scheduled for Monday, April 7th, and we have learned and we have heard from community that there is a need for additional time, and we will add an additional day of LSC elections on Tuesday, April 8th, to coincide with the recommended additional day for report card pickup. We understand the challenge that one day of report card pickup for parents and families is really overwhelming. We assume that responsibility for a very poor decision, and we're recommending that this change to correct our calendar for this school year and to make it easier for families who have children in both elementary and high school. The additional day for report card pickup will also allow for one of the days for report card pickup to be for elementary school students and middle school students, and the second designated day for high school report card pickup. We urge our parents to attend and to meet with their child's teacher, to discuss their child's academic performance, and to work with the teachers in the school to develop strategies that support their child's success. This proposed change will provide expanded opportunities and greater convenience for our families, and it will also ensure that our parents and caregivers have the time they need for meaningful, productive conferences with their child's teacher. Again, engaged and empowered families are at the center of our action plan, and it is imperative that we, the district is responsive and responsible to the families that we serve, and hence my request to the board for this change. With parents as active partners, support and guidance from our great principals and our great teachers, and an engaged community, there is truly no limit to what our children can achieve. This concludes my report, and I'd like to thank the board for this opportunity.
Thank you, Barbara, and on behalf of the board, thank you for listening to the community and being responsive on this issue. We have heard from the community in the past. You've listened and you responded to it to make it easier for parents to get in to see teachers and pick up report cards, and we really appreciate that and support you in that regard. And thank you for your report. Any questions for Barbara about any of this? Okay.